Hello, everybody. Good evening. Yeah, if it was unprepared as usual, then tonight I'm really pushing the boat. Thank you. It's back because I just filled my little water bottle up. So, welcome to Lazy Mini Painting, where tonight I am completely far behind, more than usual. How is everybody tonight? Who do we have in? We have Joe, we have Ali, we have Beaky. Hello, everybody. How are you all doing? Yeah, I. I've not even done the things I should have done half an hour ago. So, first of all, hydrate. Cup of tea. Always a good idea. Always a good idea. Let's see. Um, yes, I'm not quite sure on that bit, Joe. When did the jalapeno cheddar Doritos get quite actually spicy? I've not tried the jalapeno ones yet, so I don't know. So it'll be nice to know that they are actually spicy now, which is, I suppose, good. I won't be disappointed if I was to have them not spicy. That's gonna be fun. I'm not quite sure how you're gonna get through a few of those issues that you're having with ship combats and layouts and making sure it's all balanced. That's just complicated as hell. That's really complicated. Doritos are alright. You just got to remember that they are essentially the fire lighters, not food. What's the crack tonight is I didn't realise the time. I'm completely running late. So just not to plan at all tonight. Just nothing compared to. Yeah, I have no ability to coordinate, essentially. So I'm going to try and do fine painting skill things. This is going to be fun. Right, I didn't want to put that on my head. I'm supposed to be looking for my magnifiers. And I've got a feeling my magnifiers aren't even in this room. No, they weren't. My magnifiers weren't even in the room with me. Well, just get a small bag, find them on offer somewhere. Just if you're gonna just go for the standard cheese ones. They seem to be the most popular. Standard cheese Doritos. They're all right. Or get them when somebody else is round as well, because chances are they would have had them and they will like them. Hey, up, Graham. No worries. If you're being a bit quiet, you're being a bit quiet. That is fine. Right. First of all, I need to set my wet palette up because, well, Nafal's going to be able to work if I don't. And I realise I've not even shut the curtain behind me. So that means there's a big glaring light behind me now. Right. So we put some in there first, and then we put that in. And then we try and squish it down a little bit without it snapping. And then we fill from the sponge side, which is down here. I think is the bit that's actually off screen. Yeah, it is. It would be. So we squirt it in down the sponge side. And then we can tip for excess down to get down to here. And then we start doing the same. Yeah. Doritos are quite popular, so if you see someone you know who's got some, say, I've never tried one. Could I try one? And they'll probably say yeah, and they'll give you a broken one, but you'll still get to try one because people who like them tend to like them. So if they're gonna give you one, they won't give you a full one. They'll give you a broken one if you're trying it. I'm not wasting it. This is the fun bit, is actually filling the wet palette properly. And try not to actually get water on top of the paper itself. So in this case, I'm going to see if I can peel the paper off to get access to the bits that I need to actually wet. Because there were some bits on this palette, and I don't know why, but they just kind of go a bit hard and they don't get wet unless I press them. It never seems to fully absorb the water. You're perfectly fine at being quiet, Graham. In fact, that's probably the way you prefer to be, isn't it? Left alone, quiet, just leave me alone. Go away. I don't strike you as the man at the party wearing the ridiculously loud shirt, getting everyone up to do the conga. Don't worry, Joe. Don't worry, Joe. It'll pass. It'll pass. It'll pass. Just keep thinking about tiny ships, tiny ships, tiny ships. That's why it's good to have just a couple of models that are not the actual hobby that you do, but are close enough to fulfill that role. So something in armor. Doesn't have to be power armor. Could be a paladin. Could be a fighter. Something in heavy armor. It generally gets you over the I need to paint power armor fix. It is an issue. People don't realise that this is actually an addiction, this plastic little hobby that we have. Right, what have we actually got on my desk now? I've got all sorts of stuff. I've got brushes scattered around, which I can move over here because I know they're clean. I cleaned them today. Those ones are clean as well because I didn't use them. That one needs cleaning. Those two aren't need cleaning. Right, that's all paints that I'm going to be using to paint Tau. Is it? No, it's that right, okay. Move head thing before I get camera again. Right, put them in box behind me so they're on my desk. Yes, I do have Tau on my desk for those who are wondering what the friggin' hell is. Calm did bring a couple of test models round. So I do have what is essentially going to be a Stegadon scale green, even though it's not actually a green, it's more of a blue, with metallic medium. Makes this quite nice colour. And then you can even, the eye's actually picking up on there. So yes, you can, and the eye with like green glow. And the end of the weapon with a green glow as well. Good evening, Lee. Good evening. Ooh, we're doing mold testing for Graham. Well, yeah. And for his crew, he's gone for the essentially the same thing he did with the axe. He's gone for the green undertone with the purple wash, and then light green dry brush over the top again, just to bring out raised edges. But yeah, he's gone for the purple and green. I've not. This is why I've not gone through full colours with him yet on that. But it's also why I've only got a couple, and well, I say a couple. I had to biostrip that lot, but yeah. Well, a couple of them fell apart, a couple of heads fell off. I've managed to get a Chaos Marine out of it. I just need to know if I can get his hands off and put some kind of chainsaw and pistol on him, and that'll be awesome. That'll be another Marine. And I've got to remake his shaper. But I do have some suits. One of which is metal. That's not actually paint, that's metal. And another of which I'm going to have to rebase for him, because he had it on an old flight base, which isn't the right size. Well, that's a different project that's up there. I did not do any videos of it because, well, it wasn't just me and Calm that were here. There was Ramrod, who's one of the other unpaid goons on Discord. He was round as well and was having a bit of a chat, and I didn't really have a chance to set up and film anything, which is a bit of a shame. However, that's why I've only done one of each model, and I've got spares so I can actually work it through. I can film this one. So what am I actually painting tonight? That is 10 minutes in, I've not even pulled them out. So we're back onto Angry Ron. But this time Angry Ron's got a lot of detailing that I need to pick up on him, and a lot of stuff that I need to clean up on. Like the teeth on the skull, the edges of these, whatever these things are, as well as his knee pads. Then I'm also going to have to wash and do his knee pads in the same styling that any of the stone stuff I'm going to have in the same styling as the blades. Not a problem, Joe. Not a problem. Looking forward to seeing this, because this game, it sounds interesting. I like the sound. I like the idea of naval combat in space. So, which is essentially, as far as I can tell, what you're building as a game, naval combat in space. And obviously there are different races, so I'm liking the idea of this. I'm interested to see how it comes out. So please take your time, do a good job. Hopefully it goes really well and you can be successful from it, because it sounds like it's going to be a good game. But in the meantime, I'm still going to have to get down to this. Right. So, I've missed... Right, there's loads of bits gold, loads of bits red. That need to go back to being burgundy and purple. Then there's stone bits that need cleaning up. Lots of stone bits that need cleaning up, in fact. We have a leather handle that needs highlighting, and we have whatever's going on down here also needs seriously sorting out as well, because there's overlaps and smudges and stuff. So I'm finding out how sloppy I am without these goggles. So these may become a recurring thing. So for those of you who find it slightly amusing when I do that, you'll be alright. Then reach out across your various Discords, and if you can find anyone close enough, that'll be awesome, because then you don't have to be sending them too far. If not, then you're going to have to send them around the country, I'm guessing, at least, to get proper play testers, because you're going to want groups, or at least a big enough group where they're good enough group where they're going to play every faction. There's no point sending it to a group of 3 people when you've got 6 factions and they're only going to play 1 faction each, because you're not going to get a full. If it's 2 people and they're willing to go, no, I won't play every faction, both of them want to play every faction in every combination they can think of, then that'd be more worthwhile than sending it to the group of 3. So careful who you're choosing, and try just to make sure you try and get a good enough pool. You'll want meta gamers as well as casual as well. So that's another thing you might want to look out for. So those who are more into the tournament style of play and looking for the best possibles and I'm going to win turn 1 if I can, as well as those who are willing to give their opponent a bit of play time and play it over. I have messed up a lot on this. We're going to start with black. Just straight off the bat, we just got to go straight back to base. Straight back to base. Yeah, I would hope you are way ahead of me, Joe, in fairness. Anything that comes out of my mouth regarding this, I would hope you thought I've done and have moved past 3 stages. Because not knowing what fully stage you're at, and you only just mentioning testing to me. So I will give my opinion, but always hoping that you're way ahead. So we are definitely going to have to start with black. And I'm not happy about that. I wanted to actually just go colour and not just be sat there doing a lot of little bits of clean up all night. This might take ages if it's lots of little bits of clean up. Then again, if I manage to get them all done tonight, next week it might be a a finish. I mean, even if you one night you just want to go, can I practice pitching this? Feel free, Joe. You can jump up and practice pitching. Yeah, it is a trialing process, making a game, building a business, essentially putting everything you've got into something. It's a difficult thing to do. It's certainly a scary thing to do. Don't get me wrong, it's similar in the way of doing this, but this isn't as scary. I don't rely on this to live, luckily. If your game becomes big enough, then you may end up relying on that to live, and then you have other concerns. If you're trying to start up a business, same thing. You kind of one day looking for that to become the only thing that you do. It's a passion. It's going to be that drives you through it. But he's certainly scary. He's not just a Batman, Ali. He's the Batman. See, I was nice there. I could have been really cruel there. I'm finding out how to do this nice thing. Apparently, I'm a nice person. So I'm going to try bearing that in mind. Find out what it is that makes those people say that I'm a nice person. Because there must be a reason. Quantifiable. Calculatable. Something that's like, right, that's it. Okay, so if I'm just don't show them the rest where you talk to yourself and sing to yourself and make up funny noises. They all think you're a nice person. And that's how it works. Oh shit. Oh, yeah, I'm past 5 minutes. The ComCon thing is this weekend. So yes, anyone in Manchester this weekend, on the Saturday is early enough if you're in here and you happen to be going to that one and you meet up with me, please be highly respectful because I will be with my son. But please feel free to say hello. But I will be with my son, so please don't be a dick. If it was just me, then fine, be a dick, I'll just punch you. But I'm going to be with my son, please don't be a dick. But feel free to come and say hello. Fine, you're not wishing to photograph him. Not saying anyone's got to do it in the first place, but you know, I'm not unapproachable. Just do it respectfully, please. But yeah, that is this Saturday, and Sparkles is letting me loose with Mini Laz. I just thought of two names for them that I can refer to them as. Well, he's Mini Laz.
Yeah.
Can they be Twinkle and Star since you're Sparkle? So yeah, and Sparkles will be Twinkle and Star. That's what they're going to be now for referred to. I don't know which one's which. Sparkles can figure that one out. But one's going to be Twinkles and one's going to be Star. But I will only be there on the Saturday. If you are on the Sunday, I'm sadly going to miss you. Back to painting things black that I shouldn't have fucked up on in the first place because I'm an idiot. How I'm going to have to come back and sort these out afterwards, I'm not quite sure. Because some of them are actually going to require complete repainting, which part of the process is obviously a dry brush. So that's going to make some of this all the more fun. I'm also using a crooked brush. Don't use crooked brushes. They're difficult to paint with. Because, well, the brush tip isn't where you'd normally expect it to be. Well, essentially that's how I came to it. I figured out what sparkles. Stars, well, kind of sparkle. So, and with sparkles having a space certificate up there. I call it a space certificate because I don't even understand it. She does though. Which is why she laughs at me when I have some of my crazier ideas and tells me why physics says it can't work. And then I look at her confusedly as if to say, why doesn't physics just like bend like every other fucking rule? And she says physics doesn't work like that. Physics doesn't bend, physics is physics. And like, oh. But if it didn't, would it be right? And that's when technically physics wasn't a thing. I'd be right, but sadly physics is a thing apparently. I don't know either. So hang on, no. Graham's had an update on his thing. And he's nice now. I need to find out. These things are not conducive to helping for reading chat and looking at things. Right, so still a bit of a silicon inhibition. It's moulded well. It's just a bit gummy. Shit on the master. Yeah. You don't want a gummy. You don't want a gummy master. Yeah, it's just once you found out, because you're doing moulding and depending what resins and things you're working on and working with, once you've found out your ratios and your timings, you'll be fine. It's just working through that a little bit. And it sounds like you've got a good enough idea anyway, especially working with 3D printers and having an experience with resin. No, you should be fine. Maybe next one, maybe one more. Just to get a master's set. And speaking of which, we were talking the other day, Graham, and I'm going to ask you this first, just in case you say no. Do you mind if I bring up some of that slight conversation on stream? It's to do with dice, and it's just an idea that I've had about the thing you're doing next year as well. So. And it's much easier to express verbally than in text form. Well, actually, it's not for me anyway. But both of them are a pain in the ass, and I'm talking at the minute, so I can't message. Right, okay. You said you was going to do those rather than go for the big ones. What the fuck's going on? Right, rather than do the big ones, I'm just going to turn my phone off for a minute. Because I... no idea what the hell that was. You can go to sleep for a bit, thank you. Why does everyone always want to mess with me while I'm live? I don't know. You're only going to do so many of the 16 mil because you're going to drop down to the 12. Do so many of the 16 mil and use them as limited ones for your Comic Con thing. So only have them available at Comic Con. So that's how, and advertise it through the site, through everywhere. That all right, you're going to be doing 12 mil dice, but if you come to Comic Con, you get a chance to buy a 16 mil. You know, you gotta have faith. I can't think of an Archie version of that off the top of my head because I don't know the lyrics that well. We've already figured out that I get echo if I try and do anything remotely like bring up lyrics or anything while I'm on stream, so I'd have to have it pre-done. I suppose that technically would fall in music. I already have a category for that in Discord. Archi lyrics. Archified versions of songs. Or Archi-oki. No cheating in using AI if you know anything about the law. Ali, you're not allowed to use AI just because I'd get 17 songs a day with lyrics. So you have to write your own. You have to convert them properly. Just because I'd have an entire series of Archi-oki songs within a week, a year's worth. Well, yeah, but that's the type of thing that you advertise and only take to ChillCon. It's, look, you want to draw for the ChillCon. You're only going to be a first time vendor. You're going to have limited awareness. So you want something that you can, if the more awareness or the bigger type of draw you can get, the better. So if those 16 mil gold leafed dice are only available at ChillCon, more people are going to come to, and they may be worth more than 15 to. If you gold leaf all the dots and have the rogues den at 6 and that's gold leafed as well, 18 quid to 20 I wouldn't put out of the ballpark for that place. And I know you're trying to take someone seriously here whose eyes are looking 40 times bigger than they should, but hey, that's something you could get over, mate. I'm being serious regardless of how I look. No worries, Joe. Catch you later, mate. Thank you very much for coming, and good luck with the project, because that is looking and sounding, well, it's sounding nice. And some of the designs that I've seen, I'm assuming you've got more designs, and so the designs that I've seen are looking nice. I've not got live chat on again. I have apologised to anybody who's watching, and I've not caught your message. I don't know how many it cuts out. I just know it does cut out some messages. So, essentially, if anyone can write an Archi-oki song, then feel free to write an Archi-oki song. I think I still have Cindy Larker available. I just need to put it into a full video or a full track. I'm not sure how I'm going to do a video for it. That's going to be a whole heap of crap that I won't be able to do. Ooh. Who would fancy taking that on as a project, I wonder? Because that's a weird one. How would you do an ARC version of the Cyndi Lauper video for girls who just want to have fun? With my lyrics that I've put. Oh, that sounds perfect. But yeah, Gold Leaf, all the pips and the wherever put it. I've still not found a home for it yet, but I do have the Rose Den Hobbies sticker still around. But yeah, the hood for the Rogue, gold leafed. I didn't know you could have any writing on it or not, but okay, white's fair enough for that. You are technology challenged. Okay, but then if you're going to use AI, make sure you use the Warhammer 40,000 Orcs has got to be in Warhammer 40,000 Orc based version of. Is going to be a good one to help you out getting on. And we will have to rate these things then. And they will need lyrics, because if I'm supposed to be doing the voice, then yeah, I need to know what I'm supposed to be saying. I had a good idea of what the actual song is in the original and how that flows would help, but I can always ask you that afterwards. But fine, okay. If you need to, use AI, but AI is not necessarily quite there yet, I don't think. Right, now that I've done that, I want the oh no, I've not finished yet. Fuck. Just spotted the corner of his bloody shoulder pad there. Which come over far too much with red. It is sad to say, as Graham did tell us next week, he didn't tell us. I don't know what he's going to tell us next week. Not much, because I don't think I'm going to be here. Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Next week, there is a good possibility there will not be a stream, because I won't be in Manchester for a week. Before anyone's watching this and has any stupid ideas, that doesn't mean my house is empty. And if you know where I live, you also know other things as well, so don't be an idiot. Oh, what's that? Ah, that needs brown. I found other colours. So, has it changed anything? I wouldn't necessarily the pros. I did it once as a lot of things of mine just come out. It's just pure curiosity of can I? And it turned out in this case, yes, I can. So I'm wondering, do I turn it into a thing? Oh, that's proper throwing my eyes off. Because the model is big enough to be seen both inside the lenses and outside the lenses, because he's a huge chunky boy. It's kind of throwing my eyes off. Is your nap time? No worries. Cheers for joining the... Oh, sorry, should Dorito. I know better. I know better. You are the big fat one with the white beard. Luch is the tiny little one with the ginger beard. One of you is sane for California standards. The other one is sane for Florida standards. And you both live in California, which is fucking scary. The earth shakes. Beelzebub comes up every fucking summer just to have a bit of time off. He goes Vegas. But he pops up in California first. Just to make sure his fuckery's gone everywhere. Not so fat no more. No, good job, man. Good job. You losing that beer belly. I mean, you'll never be as slim as me, but that's a good thing. You should never be. If you're as slim as me, you need to go to hospital. But, yeah, good shape, man. I'm still waiting for that delivery of voodoo things to paint. I've got 2 airbrushes, 2 compressors. I've been practicing my torching techniques to remove any outer layer lines and scrub. That even the people that say I get rid of all the layer lines, it just smooths it out. I've been practicing. So it does actually smooth out into one nice little, because you melt the fucker. But just in one quick blast. Wow, I've missed an entire bit of red under his arm. Oh, don't tell me the Spider-Man broke. Oh, I only caught a little bit of that. Well, shit, that broke. Alright, so I'm going to need the reds, the blacks, the browns, lots of the browns, and now, did he use brass or did he use gold on him? I'm pretty sure I used brass, didn't I? Which is the one that I've just put in the fucking top behind me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I used brass. There is no bionic house. There is a Spider-Man with Doc Ock's implanted arms, where he ends up with them. And there's one where he naturally ends up with another 4 arms to make an 8-limbed Spider-Man. But he never ends up with one. He never ends up like an Iron Hand Spider-Man where it's just 1 limb, I don't think. Right, so where have I just seen that needs to go brass? It's pretty much around the back of his leg somewhere, I'm sure it was. I need to do a bit of touch up there. yeah, edge of this leg here. Yeah, down there. Down there. In the back of that. Clean up in there. And then across the rims, across all the top of them. So I might be better off going for fur first, which will require a very small dry brush. Here's to trying to be careful. Being careful is a good thing, and we will try it. One day it's gonna work. I need about 96 bazillion tubs of ivory. And I'm going to need some more violet, I think, on my wash. Yeah. I'll charge Cam. It's going to be for his models. Well, violet wash and an ivory paint's not going to be too bad, I don't think. But you can only run one airline off my compressor. Each of them. And it means that one person can be sat over there doing it, and one person can be sat over here doing it, and it's not all congregating in one area. Or somebody can be sat in a completely different room doing it. Or a completely different house doing it. It's the great thing about having two compressors. You can... Airbrushing is generally not a communal thing anyway. Well, at least not as far as I'm aware. I've never seen anyone advertising communal airbrushing parties. So, yeah, you only really need one hose connectorly. You don't really need a triple. I mean, multiple airbrushes, fine. You have different needles, different... But yeah, you don't need all three of them connected at one time. Think small, think compact. Don't forget, I'm in a domestic domicile. I don't have a dedicated everything. Capture over the rocky things again. Trying not to touch anywhere to... Basically try not to touch anywhere that I've just fucking cleaned up. Because then what would have been the point of fucking cleaning it up in the first place? I do want to get them neater. I don't want all the overspray and all. Basically, it's sloppy. It's sloppiness. I know I'm lazy mini painting. I still want to improve. Francois, good evening. Good evening. You just caught me through my self-deprecating rant there. That although yes, I am lazy. I admit that. I am lazy mini painting. I write it in the fucking channel name. As lazy as I am, I still want the best effects and the best that I can manage, and as I get better, that means I can manage better, hopefully. So yeah, I want the cleaner edges now. I want those little bits to be nicer. I want the bits that I would have let go because I didn't know how to clean them up anymore or how to sort them out. I now know how to sort them out, so I'm now sorting them out. This is why in September I'm gonna need a reminder, because I know my first video is coming up to its 4-year anniversary. My first actual live of my own in September this year. That means I would like to find out which models I painted on those live streams. because I wouldn't have touched them since. And then try some of the models that I've painted more recently and compare them, essentially, see how much I've come along. Puppy gets neutered on Friday. Oh, yeah. Hopefully that will calm him down. I don't know if you, well, technically this is a human, but he calls himself a dog. He could do being neutered and calming down as well. So now it's a light dry brush with the green. Very light dry brush with the green. Don't want to catch anything else but his gauntlets and his knee pads really at this point. And even then only certain parts. Definitely don't want it catching over onto the brass. Because then that'll make it look more coppery. Get a slightly brighter effect on there, and then I've got some wrapping that I missed, which I'm not happy about. Just noticed around the base of the blade and the sword. There we go. That's bringing out that greeny effect a bit more. Something I liked, happy accident. No such thing as mistakes, as Bob used to say. Just happy accidents. R.I.P. the relaxing painter himself, Bob Ross, eh? Yeah, you wanted more housebound, more house orientated than territory dominated. It's like, yes, we know we live on this street, but so do lots of other people. They're allowed to live on this street. You watch after our house, not the... Yeah, don't chew the cat from next door. One of those things. Just look after the front door and the people in the house. Don't eat the neighbours' kids. And some dogs do just literally need their bits sorting, just to take that edge out of them. And it works. That's why they do it. Oh, but it harms the dog. No, it doesn't. We do it to ourselves. Humans have it done all the time. Some people have it done by law. They have to. Yeah, at least he told you. He could have just gone, right, do you want to know something? You chop my... I'm going to go to the wall. Screw you. So yeah, at least he told you. Good doggo. Plus, having a happy doggo is a sign of a good person. Happy doggos don't live with unhappy people. Unhappy doggos live with unhappy people, and that's sad. Not for the unhappy person, for the unhappy doggo. Poor doggo. No, I won't be. It's a comic convention, so I won't be taking any models or anything to it. There's no need to. My son is looking forward. Essentially, I'm going to get dragged straight to the Pokemon card section, and I just hope I'll have enough money on me, because he would spend it all there. Assuming there is a Pokemon card section, I'm guessing there will be, because it's Comic-Con. And although it's a trading card game, this is Game Freak we're talking about. They will try and get money even if they... We're not supposed to be here, we're not comics, but technically we have mangas, so drop by some Pokemon cards. Can't blame them though. Yeah, in the business of making money, and if you're in the business of making money, then you need to make money, and you have to pay people. People start getting a little bit uppity if you don't pay them. And if you don't pay enough people and they all start getting uppity, then it gets a real bloody problem. A really big problem. And them bankers in China, they found... Oh, maybe shouldn't mention that. Sorry. Anyway, back to Angry Rom. Forget anything that I've just mentioned that could fuck me over on a political landscape. We've still got lots of bits to clean up. Still see lots of white bits that shouldn't be white bits, and brown and bits that should be brown that aren't brown. I certainly rushed through this quick, didn't I? But while I've still got it in my head, I want to do something. I actually want to water down this black quite a bit, because I don't want a null nail wash, but I do want something to dull down the shininess of that head. Something much darker in the recesses than a null nail. Well, not darker, it's going to be about the same, it's just it's a little bit, it's more like, it's more close to the kin to a contrast than a wash. But because it's watered down, it will fill out and go into the recesses and leave the high points. That way afterwards I can come back in with a brighter metal and just shine it up. Well, no. But we understand when people get uppity for that reason, and we stand with them. So if you're one of those people that's like, yeah, no, I got ripped. If you're a blue collar worker, yeah, we're going to be fine. You ain't ripping me off of no my fucking wages. I worked all week. Give me my money, or your windows are going through. And that's uppity. It may not be what everyone else classifies as uppity, but yeah, that's why I classify as uppity. Or if you're working in a store, give me money or I'm taking it out of the safe. And then you've paid me. No more problem. Kind of a crimson, which is going to have to be the wash onto there, but I'm not ready for the wash onto there yet because I don't even know if I've finished painting on that yet. No, that still needs bits of gold. That still needs bits of gold. So I'm going to have to go up from the darkest. Was it Conrad? Or was it Mephisto? It was Conrad. Right. Welcome back, Francois. As Doggo been and did dink. And looked at you and gone, human wipe it. Because that's what they do. Human clean me. Clean it. Do what I say. You human, me dog, me new, me superior. So yeah, you bloody wish. And were for the fact you were soft and fluffy and useful, you'd be gone long ago. But they do know they're soft and fluffy and useful and they play on it. Don't tell me they don't. I know they do. All animals play on it. Mine bloody plays on it. Even with me, it works. It bloody works. They know we love them. Depending on the animal you've got, you'll either get jokey but complete loyalty love back, or you'll get a do as like one thing say, and don't annoy me or come near me unless I want it. It's like a dog or a cat. Do we know them up to no thanks? That's the right way to deal with it, Ali. No money, no work done. No money, no. Look, you think I'm here for the good of my health? No. Do you think I'm here because you're giving me money? Yes. Right, then give me the money or we have an issue. You have breach of contract. And if you do not have a breach of contract because you do not have a contract, well, that's when you have to make sure you get your money. And then next time sign a fucking contract. It does work. In a weird, fucked up, twisted way. And I know what you're saying, you shouldn't really resort to violence and things. But you won't be resorting to violence because they're going to be nice and understanding and they're going to help you. So there will be no violence. Depends. I was saying uppity people that don't get paid. Those people have a right to be uppity and get the money, especially when they're lower down and the ones that really fucking need it. But yeah, any of those will do. If you want to get uppity about law, rules, model design, costs, painting standards and minimums, Any of them are quite fine, Francois. Expectations from the hobby is quite a good one, from both the community and the manufacturers, or certain manufacturers more than others, and their willingness to completely lock long-term fans out of current gameplays just because, well, they didn't spend any more money because they didn't need to, or they thought they didn't need to. Yeah, so essentially anyone being wronged has every right to be uppity. That's a very nice way of putting it, that, Francois. Yeah. I think that's just solved that entire uppityness for us. Who should be able to get uppity? Anyone being wronged. And being uppity does involve smashing windows and taking what is duly owed. Sadly enough. That's why retail's not a bad one to work in, because if you don't pay you, at least they have a safe. Or have equivalent value goods that you can rationally work out and tell them, and they may have to write off for less than cost because you're selling them to XYZ place. But there are many ways to get money back. But yeah, get a contract if you're a third party, or if you're doing anything that you're not already contractually obliged to because of company rules. If you're a third party, make sure you get something in writing, in contracts, so you can never give him. Look, this is the thing, Graham. I'm a fantastic worker. But you uphold your end of the bargain just as much as I have to uphold my end of the bargain. See? Which is why, yeah, you're probably never going to give me a job. And any of my future employers, if I ever get them again, ever see this, they're not going to give me a job either. Guns are an explanation that, yes, can be used to be uppity. But they're a scale of uppity. You have to have at least tried the minor scales of uppity first. Disapproving looks being the very bare minimum. They've paid you 10-minute late. Put it away. Fine. Okay. It's minor inconvenience. You just built a 4-story building for them and they've not paid you a penny apart from the deposit. And it's been 2 months. You're not opening the site. They're threatening to sue. You're threatening to sue. Just rip the fucking building down. There you go. Obviously nobody's in the building at the time because you've kept the site closed. Governments systematically close down everything you have, shut you off from all amenities, and don't let you have any kind of say whatsoever, even to the point where they hide what they're planning to do so that you can't find it to question or do anything about it. You build a concrete reinforced bulldozer with armour and take out all the government buildings in your town. You do not kill anybody. You do not cause anybody any harm. Obviously, there are varying degrees of how uppity can escalate. Uppity is quite a large spectrum. And if you're a lovely and fair boss, then you have no issue with me at all. In fact, I will be a glowing employee. Just that at the point where you ask me to start doing CEO stuff and I'm getting paid postage room wage, then we might have an issue. Especially if the company is definitely bringing in enough to supply CEO level wages. But that's a different thing. As you said, you're completely fair, and credit's due, raise is due, raise is due. There is a point where, yeah, uppityness is forced upon us. It's our choice when we choose to react and take that uppityness to the level that is required, though. And we don't always have to fully escalate immediately, but we do have to scale it. We can't immediately go for full-on concrete slabbed vehicle. Much how we would want to. Oh boy, I could think of a few places to run that thing. Oh, couldn't I just? There's a couple of town centres near me that could do that. Oh yeah. One of them has just been renovated as well. And they slap the council buildings right in the middle of that renovation. A couple of areas like that, yeah, they'd be nice. Those are the type of places you are waiting for. And the day you're coming, so they know definitely to get them out of the way. Some editing. Oh, well, I've got a feeling I might have to start doing some editing once I've done some recording. I did hit the record button by accident when I meant to hit live today. As I said, I was just, nowhere near in a position. And yeah, I was just late for everything. Including late for being late today. I don't think there was any chance of me just having this one work quite smoothly. Not that any of my streams go smoothly. What on earth is that? Don't know this little bit now. Some of these bits that need cleaning up are so silly. It's a little bit due more care and attention doing it in the first place. I don't want to have to do this cleanup. That's pretty much what this is boiling down to. I'm sorry I'm not getting to the chat just as quickly as I would like to. If I take a break, I will take my phone with me and pop into the chat while I'm out there, and that way if anyone, I can still talk and communicate, and I might even be quicker at responding in some cases because I've not got a stream delay. There's only one bad thing I can say about these goggles, and it's the same. But it's the same thing with every single magnification thing. It only works when you've got it in the exact place. No, you don't really say that much. If that happened, it'll be more of that. That's taking it to a beyond where uppity is not working anymore. Now we're just gonna now just resorting to pure violence. We need that's yeah. That's more stuff that's you'd need to organise that would get me banned off YouTube. But that's that level of organisation for it would be what you're looking at there. Yeah, that one would get me banged off YouTube if we started going down that road, Francois. Is he on about full blown? No, he can't be. No, I'm not. Don't come and arrest me. God save the king and all that, you know. They're watching, I know they're bloody watching, I'm not that daft. This is why Tor exists. And I don't have any Tor, so meh. Well, this is why Tor exists. Ali, do not look up Tor. This is not a don't look it up. No, this is a do not look it up. You will be put on the list. You will be put to watched. And you'll think, I don't even know what it is. Yeah, that's good. For now. Time will come when we'll need to know. And then if that time comes, I'll let you know. That is some pretty top tier uppity, but is that uppity or is that I think that's gone beyond uppity. That's gone to military at that point. And uppity can't be military. Uppity can only really be a single person. A couple of people if they're very, very disenfranchised. But they've got to be the underdogs. They have to be the underdogs from still being uppity because of how many of them there are. So I don't think some of that would work. However, one kick-ass guy travelling and just being uppity all the time for and getting all the right people, then he's no longer uppity, he's now a legend. Providing he gets all the right people. I mean, he should still get caught for murder and tried in due process and everything else, but evidence, circumstances, yada yada yada, everything else that and reasons why he was doing stuff would then come out in court and would then besmirch the name of whoever it was, because they wouldn't be doing it for nice reasons. They wouldn't be doing it because they give to charity and help out the needy every weekend. They'll be doing it because they're dirty, horrible, nasty Speedo underpants. True, no, they are still uppity. Just know that they're organised into a group. They've become a mob. They have become a mob. Because, like it or not, the ruling government in charge is still the ruling government in charge, and if you're going against them, you are rebels. Call yourselves freedom fighters as much as you want. You are going against the current establishment, you are rebels. We are rebels. Who are rebels? Whoever stands up, essentially, to fight the injustices. Obviously, a tyrannical government or other such establishment would need to do eventually by its own people, because it is only really them who can resolve and change that. And it is the uppity people that have had enough. Well, that's when they've gone beyond uppity, and now they're angry and mad, and damn it, we are fucking serious. And that's, you know, you've gone from uppity to mad. Uppity, yeah, I'll put the window through, I'll take my money. Mad is, nah, I'm burning the fucking place down. We are marching. And it is not just 10, 20, a factory's worth of people. It is entire families. It is swathes of communities. It's a war in basic terms. The energy builds, it becomes something bigger than itself. And who knows, humans may have latent psychic abilities that can help stimulate, and we may be that fucked up that we are a war race. I never said degenerates, I said rebels. And rebels were the good side in Star Wars, remember? But rebels nonetheless. You cannot deny this. No, I can get uppity. It's definitely a British, I would say it's more of a British thing. Not many other nations have uppity. And there is a certain amount of, although violence can be of the extreme uppityness, but there is also lines that are drawn. It's like, no. There is a little bit of that, no, what how British chapter. Which is why I said there is a thing, once you go from uppity to mad, that's a whole kettle of fish. Different. That's just something completely fucking different. Uppity to mad's a different scale. If you get the British people, if you get people mad, then yeah, that's how we end up with stupid tea parties and little Frenchmen with hands in the jackets and people getting shot in the eye and covert operations to go take somebody out. You know, the really stupid shit. Yeah, see, Graham was literally born uppity. He has no other choice. He's just, nope. I know a few people that are just naturally, just, yeah. And it's not that, you don't have to be uppity, like in Graham's case. Oh, thank you very much, Grandma. Thank you very much. I shall get him on screen for a slightly better view because I've only just seen this coming in. And I need to have a look at it now on the camera to see how much is actually visible. So the green is visible across the top and across the stone there and across the sword, which is nice. I have dulled down what is going to be his butcher's nails, which I'm quite happy about. And I've fixed a fair few of the problems that I'm having. Just got to do a bit more of the brass, because there's some dangly bits around here round the end of his pommel on that one and the one on his axe that I need to clean up a little bit. And there's still some bits of brass that I need to clean up round the leg sections, and yeah, these bits of brass I need to clean up. So that's on to the next one. The overall who is justifiably uppity, the ones that are being wronged, the ones that are doing the wrong are just being arrogant cunts. So the ones that are being wronged are the ones that have justifiably being uppity. Which is not full-blown madness. You're not completely mad. You've not flipped your lid yet. You've not just punched them in the nose. That is not uppity, that is anger. But you're certainly not happy about the situation and were willing to do physical things, if not necessarily to a person, to get the true justice for the situation. Said that if you work in retail, they haven't paid you, point out to them that they have the safe there. Tell them how much money that is need to be done. You can take it, put it into your bank. Hey presto, you've just been paid. And how are you doing this evening, Grandma? Well, this evening for me, I don't know whether you're morning, afternoon, evening also. You've joined a strange conversation, which is essentially what is uppity and where is the distinction between getting uppity and then mad, and then who has the right to be uppity, and do you even know what uppity means? Yeah, so yeah, justifiably uppity you have been morally wronged, but you are trying to hold some level of morals while still getting the injustification sorted and resolved. When they start becoming crass and belligerent and belittling assholes because they believe they have money and power and something over you because they have that, well, what they believe to be power, it is in fact only money in most cases, then that's when uppity turns into anger or madness, and changes, or can change to become more of a malevolent mindset. Depending on the person. Some people don't even bother getting uppity and just go straight to that point. Those are the people you need to be wary of. The people who have skipped uppity and gone straight to, he's gonna fuck your shit up. Good nightly. Hope you managed to get everything sorted. I saw that bit pop up at the corner. Right, what else have we got? Not so much indignant. Definitely wanting to get something corrected from being wronged. Oh, he's getting all up here. Yeah, but his flight's been cancelled. He wants to see his kids. He's asking if we can do anything about it, and we're fobbing him off. Yeah, doing stupid stuff. While you're up to, you've still got control of yourself. Or I would hope you have. If you've not, then you've got some serious anger management issues. And if you can't get uppity because you completely skip it, then you also got anger management issues. Need to be sorted. We're supposed to be past this. We're supposed to be humans. If you don't understand what I mean, go read June. By Frank Herbert. And I don't mean the stupid bloody poxy film that they brought out, where they emasculated him with and changed roles with her. No, the second part is just wrong. Don't read that one. Don't watch that one. Read the actual book. True, but if you're doing a work and they ain't paid you, you got a right to complain. And that's getting up at, especially these days, because anyone who speaks out against fucking anything is apparently a problem. Bunch of assholes, yeah. See, I'm getting all uppity now. Okay, is that all the brass bits that need doing done? No, the underside of there need cleaning up. And then the downside of that. Ooh. Good night, Ali. Mustache Man, I'm assuming is a reference to Monopoly. With it being the banker, essentially. Almost completely brilliant representation of the smiling, happy corporation telling it's going to do good by you and then turn it into a cutthroat fucking game that breaks families apart, ends up having kids crying and uncles in fights. Ah, right, no, that Mustache Man. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Even though they don't like mention of him, has anyone seen the comedian Frank Sinatra? He's hilarious if you've got that level of sense of humour. Just warning you, I've just told you his name, and I said if you've got that level of sense of humour, he is hilarious. But don't go check him out if you've not got that sense of humour after hearing his name thinking, oh, that sounds fun. That's not too bad there, Graham. That's not too bad. 5 minutes longer than you wanted is not too bad for videos, because usually end up 20 minutes longer than you want. Yeah, that little man was just, yeah, he was on way too many drugs. Way too many drugs. Right, where is it? I need to get. It's down there. Oh, God's sakes. Right, this has got. I'm gonna have to do this without the goggles. I'm not even sure if I'm getting that. I think I was painting that. Can I get into it from this side? Yeah, I can. That's better. But can I get into that from there? There we go, that's better. Yeah, I think that's a generally accepted term, that grammar. I think we can all universally agree. Guy was a dick. Guy was a really big dick. And that was putting it nicely. Lots of people involved. Their side. Probably not. Probably a lot of people that were alright. Just scared. But yeah, he were a dick. And that's pretty universally accepted. Okay, diddles. Right, now I need to remember something this time. That one of the boxes blocks out the roast and hobbies thing. So I'm going to have to move that higher than the chat box. But that's not too bad, because when I go out, I'm going to take my phone with me and I can chat to you from there. I'm going to let these little bits dry, let my eyes kind of reset, because these goggles really mess me up. Then when I come back in, I'll have a look at it and we'll have a bit more of a chat about other things, because I'm assuming RPG Grammar's spotted all these across here and he's quite possibly wondering what they are. It's like, ooh. Yeah, Wanker will work for him as well. Definitely. There is images and videos of him quite literally masturbating with a gun while gurning his head off. That's certainly an odd one. But yes, I'm going to go for a quick break for restock of liquids, nicotine refill, eye reset. But I will join you in the chat while I'm doing that. So I shall see you soon. But while I leave you with that, I need to put... No, not that one. That one up. No worries, Grandma. Thank you for coming to join us. If you would like to come back and join us again, please feel free to hit that subscribe just to make sure you know when I'm going live next. The RPG night's usually Thursday. Thank you for coming. Music. You people, you would like music. But we don't want adverts. Skip advert. There we go. I'm back soon, people. And thank you for everybody who stayed. It does help if you unmute myself. Hello, I am back. Yeah, well, I was still outside having a break, obviously, as I've just been doing. I'm also leaving this up so I can keep an eye on chat a little bit easier and respond, which is nice. In case anyone's wondering why rogues then hobbies, you can probably guess with the comment underneath, which was Graham responding to that. Graham is the one who runs Rogues Den Hobbies. So, yes. In doing that, not only are you getting some really fucking cool models, sadly not this one, but as I said in the new Votan range, definitely there's stuff there for you to go, ooh, I'm not paying that price, I'm going to get that instead. There's definitely some of that available. Not so much the kin, but more of the kith. So more dwarf range rather than the cybernetic range. But there is some in there that could double some of the cybers as well, the Men of Iron. So I don't think it's completely just one-sided. Certainly one in there that can represent that new guy with the floaty things. Can't remember what he's called in the Space Dwarf range. Alright, he's not got the helmet, but there's one for the Mad Scientist dude as well. Rogues Den was there before Games Workshop. There are a few proxies a couple of proxy armies you can get out of Rogues Den now for playing Warhammer. I mean, they're not official models, they're not the right sizes, but if you want to run a slightly oversized Space Marine army, I forgot my cup of tea, then the Space Bears are quite alright for it. They're not one for one accurate, but they're more than capable of portraying what you need them to do, especially if you go that's a that and that's a that and make it clear, it'll work. Same with the Space Dwarfs, they'll work quite well. I'm going to get my cup of tea that I forgot. I made it, but I forgot it. And I've just fed you a full. No, you just had a full pouch. You've got a full pouch. A half pouch still there. I need my cup of tea, kid. So yes, back to this wonderful big creature with the Ryan Oxide brown to get all the nice dark leathery places. Right bits, is that the wet red? It is the wet red, which is good because I know I need to get right down into this section back here. And into this section, basically in between his fucking belts. Well, yeah, I know the bears, that's why they should be a bit bigger. but it's not actually a Space Marine army. It just so happens to, if your group is willing to let you, be able to proxy for a good chunk of it. Because obviously you're not stepping on Games Workshop's toes, are you? You're not using their models. You know, some more things like one-page rules, I should imagine, but providing your gaming group's willing to let you do it, no reason you couldn't. Running a slightly larger and calling them Space Bears is like, yeah, that's actually pretty cool. But they are in no way tournament legal. No way tournament legal. Oh dear. Oh, you're using DaVinci, which I've never used. I've got Pro Tools. Not Pro Tools, Premiere Pro. And it's quite an older version, so it doesn't have all the new fancy dangled AI stuff in there. So, oh, manual for me, baby. Oh, manual. Which is why I don't fucking do it, because it's a pain in the ass. Because it's all manual. Okay, I believe we are getting quite done with him now. Sort out his tusks a little bit and his teeth. And a bit of a red wash over those orangey things at the end. Maybe another brown wash over some of these to clean up. No, in fact. While I've got the ivory, I'll clean up those tips with the ivory. Section there needs a damn good wash down as well. There's quite a bright section there at the bottom of the wing. See that really bright bit? Pretty sure it's Agrex that I toned this down with, so try that again. But I am going to go for the red for the ends of his tassel things. So that should dull that down a bit. Let's go for the red wash. The Caliber Crimson. And let's see how that one works out. Hopefully it works out quite well. Thomas, hello. I am doing alright. I know 102. 102. I didn't even start with Models and Musings. Models and Musings didn't come in for a while. So 2 more and that's at least 2 years of Models and Musings. Wow, that's a long time, isn't it? That is a long time. I'm doing very well, man. How are you? Well, I say I'm doing very well. I'm doing very well for me. Which, for most people, means they're having a nervous breakdown. But for me, that's good. What is it you're up to today? Tonight? This evening? This morning? I forget where everyone's from. You could be getting close to midnight because you're in England like me. You could be... Unless you're in every week, I usually forget. Because I am not dumb. But thank you for coming to join us again. I know this isn't your first time. You're crazy. You come back again. That's how you always know the mad ones. They come back to me. So he is looking quite fedunky now, isn't he? Now, do I do that? So, do I do the green stone thing, green and purple stone thing on the big rock that is on? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It is a question, isn't it? It is a question. You see, now I can see where I'm up to on the video because snidely, well, not snidely, but secretly I've got my phone just off there. So I can see what I'm up to on the video. That way I can try and get your answers or responses before they actually come through. Or before they come through up here anyway. I know I need to do a big dry brush across the skulls of ivory, and that's why I made sure I had the big dry brush clean. I knew I was going to get to this stage and need to do this. I just used dry brush, that's not good. And then what I might do is I might throw a Caribou Crimson over it because it is skulls for the skull throne, blood for the blood god. So these areas around the edges where I'm over brushing slightly and the dry brush is catching, hopefully that'll portray us a little more like blood. Also stain some of these quite well. Gonna get the big GW brush. Is it a big GW brush? Yeah, the big GW brush. Like the Caribou Crimson again. And I am gonna go slap happy with this motherfucker. Slap happy. There is probably a better blood tone that I could go for, but it's the only red wash I've got right now. So it's gonna have to do. I don't have any other. Then once he's dried, and I'll... Ah, shit. Wipe off. Quick. Fuck. Ooh, doggy. I'll let him dry with all this blood on the skulls, or red on the skulls, to try and pretend to be blood. It probably would have been better just like watering down some corn red or something. Oh well. Or Mephisto red or something like that. Or going for the Army Painter Speed Paint. The Army Painter Speed Paint would have reactivated, wouldn't it, once I dry brushed over it again. and that would have helped with the look that I wanted. I suppose I could still throw some of that in there as a secondary wash, and that before I do the dry brush over the top, and that'll reactivate that red, hopefully. I'll make sure I get all this in the recesses and gaps and stuff first before I start messing around with another colour. This is of course to get practice on underlighting, and for doing this on things like lava bases or glowing Necron bases or see, with this I could dry brush black first, and then go over with ivory, just so the red's in the recesses only. Ah, my friggin' head. Well, I'm going to say I'm kind of liking the reddish look on the base, just with that one outcropping that's not. But I won't find out for definite until it's dry. And that thing, my friends, is going to take fucking ages. So while that thing's taking fucking ages, I'm going to put the wash away so I don't knock it over, and the other wash away so I don't knock that over. Because I've got a habit of knocking that over, so I don't want to do that. I'm not sure what to do now because I don't have a dry fast bastard machine. I could, I suppose, start working on the 8-bound proxies. That is an option. Which I did have to change the shields slightly so they do now have a chaos icon. So the two with shields, they both have chaos icons on them. Instead of just the round dot and then the triangles that the space bears would have if you normally get them. That's why I've had to take that from my bits box. This one I was tempted to add something extra onto the back of his claws, but then I thought, nah, fuck it. So he's going to be armor plating like a word bearer, so he's going to be brass and red, but then the furs are going to be more like this type of red. So whereas the panels are going to be flat red, these are going to have layers of depth on them, hopefully. Yeah, these should be alright. Metal, brass, skin, multi-stage red through orange, standard armor, just the 2-stage red. That should work, I hope. I hope. Now realizing that I have like 2 or 3 people watching me. No, I'm going to leave them for not next week, because as I said, I'm not going to be here, but the week after. Because if I've got it set with Angry Ron, then I can take what I know with Angry Ron and move over to them, including bases. Bases being an important thing, because the bases for the bears are just flat. So I will have to be texturing these, and I will need to do something with them before I can even glue them on. That's going to be fun. How's he doing? He's not ready for a dry brush yet, is he? He is not ready for that dry brush. He's taking his sweet monkey time. There's got to be something I can be doing in the meantime while I'm waiting for that to dry. I know. Because of that black thing I give his butcher's nails, I can... With a very light brush, just skim over the top of it again with a nice, just kind of flake it across. Although it's not quite dry brushing, the principle's kind of the same. You only you're going over so lightly that you can only paint the top layers because you're not pressing hard enough for it to reach that far down. There we go. In fact, there's a couple of nice little places I could stick a little bit of bronze in there as well. No, bronze brass. So let's thin that out on the pipe so there's not as much paint on it. Too much paint, it'll clump. Don't want that. Little hints of brass going down almost like smaller sections of wire either come loose or should have been a covering. In fact, I'm like that. Yeah, computers lie. Computers lie. Knowing they give us them numbers and them loading bars and shit. That's just to show the stupid humans it's actually doing something. Because it doesn't have to show us that. We can do it without that. Easier. But humans don't like looking at blank screens to get all frustrated and uppity and start hitting things and pressing things, trying, what you doing? Why aren't you working? When in fact it is working. It's just going, look, give me a chance to do it and I'll do it. Oh, for fuck's sake, fine. Here's a little spinny circle. Look, I'm working. PCs are quick. They've done most of the stuff before they tell you. They finish it and take a coffee break, which in computer terms only takes about 26 seconds. That includes boiling the water and drinking it. Try, you bastards. So all I'm waiting for now really is the skulls at the bottom to dry. Because, well, once those skulls are dry I can dry brush them. And, well, that's Oh no, I need to purple wash that fucking face in there, don't I? Purple wash. I do like this brush. I've got to say, it's a synthetic brush, but I do like it. It's took a beat and it's kept on going. I forgot I've got to wash. Well, looks to me more like a Zinchian demon, so that's why he's kind of slaughtered it and wearing it as a belt. What the fuck do you think you're starting with? Nah, dickhead. And yeah, just add it. Ah. No, I see he's only got the one shoulder pad really. Most of it's knee and most of his knee guards. Fair enough, I can live with that. What I can't be doing with right now is how long this... I'm tempted to go get my airbrush out for the sole reason of just drying this quicker. But fuck it, you know, I'm gonna... Don't need that room there, just get the door here. Open that, get that. Get that. Don't be on the scooter. Which one's the air hose that's actually plugged in? Oh, not plugged in, but attached. Because for some reason there were two. Oh, there's two air hoses. There's an air hose attached to the other airbrush. Oh, well, we're not using that one. It's not attached, is it? Plug the extension in. Sorry people, I'm not on screen. I am still here. I'm just setting things up I didn't think I'd have to set up tonight. Because I am taking the lazy thing to... Well, I suppose not exactly lazy because I'm getting up my ass to do something, but... I'm doing that more because I'm impatient. So there we go. That was my airbrush. The rivers of blood. I'm not talking a lot over this, it's fucking loud. This is very bloody loud, but it's working, it's working. we turn it off? Give it one last final. Use up the air. Pop that back in the holder. I'll do 2 holders on that. Going back to what Lee was on about earlier. Having multiple airbrushes, it's just that I've got to change the hose. Oh dearie me, what a shame. That's going to need a lot more ivory than what I've put on it. A lot more ivory. Oh, thinking about that, Graham, your PC is about 7 times more powerful than mine. So he should be rendering videos that easily. Guarantee you're running a higher chipset, higher graphics set, and probably about the same amount of RAM. Guarantee it. My audio keeps dropping. Oh. Okay. Does that mean that I've got to mute that for that to not work like so? Get rid of that. Ha! Is that better? Because he doesn't like my desktop audio being on for some reason. Don't know why. But he doesn't like me having my desktop audio on and my microphone at the same time. So hopefully that sorted the issue. Right, yeah, your PC is probably running better than mine anyway, at the higher spec, so I should imagine it can run that quick, because mine can do it in reasonable time, and I'm running bitch basic for 10 years ago, never mind anything more modern. Still happening. Why is that still happening? Unplug that, take that out. Unplug all that, move all that. I don't want any interference from anything, please. Wow, I missed the airbrush. I really shouldn't be walking around with my model on. Although maybe I should, it'll dry. Yeah, essentially saying you were running a higher spec machine than me. So yeah, video rendering should be okay. I hope it's not still happening now. And if it is, I'll look into it for next stream, because I'm pretty much done for here. I'm just looking if there's any other bits that I drastically need to clean up for. No. I believe I've got everything pretty much how I wanted it to be. Where's that big brush? Maybe a slight touching up over there, and a slight touching up over here, and a little bit over here. So just bits of fur there, not too much. A little bit on the leather handles. A little bit on the leather straps. But no, there he is. in all his resplendent glory, we now have a angry Ron. Let's hope that's just sorted the issue. Everything else should be muted, and I should be the only one that's coming up. So hopefully that has resolved that issue. Chat box view account. Why don't I have a... No, I don't have a mic auxiliary. I have so many things in there, but my mic is not one of them in my sources. That is bizarre. Hopefully that works now. Because I do actually have an input device now that I can sort out properly. Well, fingers crossed that's done it. If not, yeah, it's got to be a loose wire. So take these off, don't need them. So that will be my angry Ron in all his resplendent glory. I could probably do with a bit more. There's probably more bits that I could do. I've just seen more bits that I can do on him, in fact. So I'm just going to grab them now because they look like they're doable without glasses. I say without glasses, I don't without goggles. There we go. Yeah, we have one angry Ronald, which I'm now going to have to set up and take pictures of. So I'm going to have to move models out of the way so they do not get damaged. Move cups of tea out of the way so they don't interfere. Move brushes out of the way for the same reason. Move wet palette out of the way. Plonk him down. So far so good. Then we desire a piece of something to put him on. That looks like a nice concretey thing. That's good. Now we need a nice flat back to put him against. I hope this is coming through on the audio. If it's not, I am sorry. I did want it to, but if he's not doing it, there's not really a lot I can do at this moment in time because I'd have to shut down the stream to go have a look at the full audio. Now let's get the camera right in there. Get the light in there. Well, let's get the camera in there. Oh, we have a picture from Al Graham as well in the Discord. So nearly there picture. Right, the grey bit isn't wide enough, so we're going to have to do that with it, I think. Oh, yes. Right, what's going to be able to go behind you to hold you up? I mean, you're getting full everything here. This is full process from start to finish. Me taking a photograph of a model. Now, I've just finished, so I need to take a photograph of it. There we go. Trying to get cameras right sometimes is just a pain in the ass. No worries, Greg. Thank you very much for calling, mate. You have a good night. And I shall go take a look at those pictures that you just posted in Discord as well. Okay, so that's all the photos taken for this evening. And of this evening, I shall try to do my best to remember to put them onto Instagram, as well as on Discord and on the YouTube community. But that is Angry Ron done. Not next week, the week after, we're going to move on to, I think we might actually move on to arcs, because we're going to be getting a lot of arcs. I'm going to need to sort them out. So yeah, I think I'll move on to arcs next week, which means Lasgull Thwacker maybe, or the Arc War Boss with Mega Armor. I don't know. I'll have a look at what my two Arc War Bosses, just normal ones, look like, and see if I can replicate that, and then we'll go from there. But thank you for everybody who's come to see me this evening. I'll get into the camera so you can see me better. Thank you to everybody. I hope you've enjoyed the process of me painting up Angry Ron. If you did, hit that like, hit the subscribe, all the usual YouTubey stuff if you want to. If not, that's your choice. But I do hope to see some of you back next week. Well, not next week, next time I'm on, which will be Thursday for this time. But yeah, I'm waffling again now. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming. Enjoy the hobby, enjoy yourselves, look after yourselves, and